Welcome to SPC Spotlight, the podcast where we highlight the people and platforms shaping the future of business from Sharjah and beyond. I am your host, Irini. Today, we are exploring a space that most entrepreneurs always have on their minds, business finance. From scattered spreadsheets and late tax filing to missed invoices, managing finances is rarely simple, especially for small business owners. That's why we are fortunate to have a special guest who can help us understand this subject better. We are joined by Mr. Fazal, the founder and CEO of Paci AI, a platform built to simplify business finances using AI and automation, tailored specifically for startups, small businesses, and freelancers. And we are proud to say Paci AI is part of the SPC Free Zone ecosystem, where businesses can discover trusted tools and partners to help them grow faster and operate smarter. If you've ever struggled with bookkeeping, tax filings, or just wished you had a financial dashboard that was easy to use, this episode is for you. Thank you, Mr. Fazal, for joining us at SPC Spotlight. It's a pleasure having you here. I would like to ask you, before we start to getting into what Paci AI does, by unwinding a bit of your inspiration to create this company and maybe what the gaps you spotted in the market and you got inspired in creating Paci AI. What were some challenges that you faced maybe with your finances and you decided to get into creating this platform? And what are the gaps in the market that you spotted?
Sure. So first, thanks for having me here, Irene. And
our pleasure.
So I actually come from a finance background, and I've got all the possible finance certificates, accounting certificates that you could have. I spent a big chunk of time in a corporate career. And once I decided to get out and set up a company of my own, I started my entrepreneurship journey. I got out, right? So the journey that you have in corporate versus that you have when you're starting small is different. You have multiple departments take care of various things. And once you start small, you realize, okay, you give it to an accountant or you try to do this yourself. And that's when I understood this whole thing is a mess. Various reasons for it. One is when you're small, you don't want to pay much. When you don't pay much, you don't get that high quality caliber that you want. Delays, like you said, I myself have paid the fines, delayed this thing, the information was wrong. And that's how I came up with the solution. I'm like, okay, these were my problems. How do I deal with it, right? How do I need to know so much information? Sometimes it's not just that information is not there. There was too much complexity. So Paci worked on simplifying things more than anything else. Yeah.
What were some gaps that you spotted in the market?
I would say the gaps that I spotted in the market was faster books, right? People were always struggling to, understand their finances. It was taking way too much time for their books to get ready, which means that they were driving blind, right? They were like, okay, am I profitable or not profitable, right? You were taking decisions. You're hiring when you shouldn't be hiring, as an example. That then you're continuously chasing your accountant, right? Because messages were getting missed, emails were getting lost. Like you said, information scattered across multiple different places. So that's where we came up with the solution. See, another major gap that I saw is what I would call as fragmented. So you've got the software, you've got the accountant. What we do is we married both, right? So it's Paci is essentially a combination of software, AI agents, AI, and accountants. So there is accountants also within Paci. It's not just that. It's a fully automated this thing because there is a requirement. And another thing, a gap that we saw, especially when you're small and when you don't have your own in-house accountant because you can't afford it, is that ownership. Paci plans to take ownership from invoicing to payments. That's the view. We are saying that we are your AI-powered finance manager. You're not just using us for bookkeeping taxes. We're saying that we take ownership of this process.
This was my next question, actually. How would you describe for someone that hears about Paci for the first time? How would you describe it in the simplest way possible? What the platform does and what's the target audience? Who does it address?
So, Paci's vision is to be, as I mentioned, an AI-powered finance manager or an accountant for small businesses. That means we will own the chain from invoicing to payments. Not everything is built out. Most of the things are built out. Some things we are still learning from the customers and trying to understand and build out. So in a very simple nutshell, it is AI-powered finance manager for small businesses. And when I say small, the target audience is anybody. It could be a single owner who's super busy, right? He has to run for events. He doesn't even have time to send invoices. To anybody under 10 people. We have customers who are larger, but this is where they require the maximum help.
Okay.
Because would they rather spend their money on employing a full-time marketing person or on operations than getting an accountant? And also, sometimes it doesn't make sense because a full-time accountant may not have enough work also. Sometimes they just need to send invoices and all of that. So that's what it is. Yeah.
So it also addresses like bigger corporations, but your target audience.
We are capable, but we've been focused on
small
are
businesses.
We capable? Yes, we are.
May I ask how you got inspired on the name of Paci?
Yeah. So Paci comes from the father of accounting. His name is Lucas Pacioli. And the reason for taking that name is he's the father of what you call as double entry accounting, which is like the basis of accounting. And I am sure he did not intend this to be this complex. So another reason also for choosing the name is that we envision one day, like how people say, "Hey Siri, how's my finances?" They would go ahead and say, "Hey Paci, how's my finances?" And they would get like how Siri answers, Paci would answer. It's actually, because it's Italian, it's actually Paci, but then since we have the chocolates, we've named it Paci. Yeah.
That's very interesting. Thank you for sharing. I would like to ask you also about one of your most standout feature, which is finance concierge service. Can you explain how this works for customers on a day-to-day basis and which features maybe your clients rely on mostly?
So, great question. So, finance concierge service is core for us. But I always say we're not just a software, right? We're more than software. So, the finance concierge service is what ensures the last mile. That means customer wants to send an invoice. The invoice gets sent. Because from a customer's perspective, he does not care about features, right? You don't really care, okay, there's this feature, that feature, this feature. Let's just say you're running a business. What do you really care? You want to send an invoice. You want your books ready. You want to know, is there profit, loss? What's my cash situation? You want to file your taxes. You want to pay certain payments. And that's what the finance concierge does. A bit of it is automated. Some of it is still manual, but we are working towards literally automating everything of it. So the focus of the finance concierge is to own the chain, as I mentioned, and that's our core feature.
Amazing. So you have used the AI to automate everything and create this platform.
Yeah, so it's a combination of, like I said, AI, there's bots, and there is accountants to do. There are certain things that the accountants have to review and do. Yeah. For example, you could send an expense into a WhatsApp bot. It reads it and it digests it. But there is still a review by an accountant just to ensure that it gets into the platform in certain cases when it's not clear or something. The reason being, you could send invoice as an expense. And sometimes they're reading. I mean, but the technology is growing. It can keep. Then we have various bots, right? So, for example, you send a message right now, night or during the weekend. And then the morning when we come, there'll be lots of clients. So there are messages, bots which tell us that which of the customer queries were not answered.
Okay.
Right? For example, it was left unattended. Or if somebody wants to reach out saying that it's an emergency, even during a weekend, right? And we have got a rating scale. And if he puts like the topmost rating, that it immediately means the call comes to the founders. And then even if it's a Sunday, we know. I mean, we've had guys who didn't understand it fully, and then they just put like critical, and then we called them and they said, oh, it was not that critical, right? So the idea of using automation, bots, AI, machine learning is to not for the sake of it. It is to achieve outcomes. For example, the bot's aim is to ensure that we don't miss a request that you have.
It's very important that everything has been verified also by your accountants. It's not a fully automated process.
Yes. The reason we've kept that is as technology grows, I think we would achieve a level of
Automation.
I mean, a level of probably get to 85-90% automation. I think being from the accounting finance background myself, getting it fully automated while possible, it's something that we want to keep the human in between to ensure that accuracy is there.
Accuracy of 100%, of course. Okay, and what if a business wants to start with Paci? What is the onboarding process? What do you require? What are
Very simple. We've kept it super simple. All you need to do, you book a demo with the team. They first quickly they take you like a 15-minute this thing showing you what the platform is and what you can do, and post that there's like we help you choose the plan that you are in, and then what's right for your business, right? You don't need a bazooka to kill a mosquito kind of a thing, right? Sometimes you're at the lower set of packages. We guide you towards that. Then there's like a payment link. Once that happens, there's an onboarding call, which is like a 30-minute, 15 to 30-minute call where we understand the business, right? In terms of a first round of understanding, in terms of, okay, what's the nature? Are you an online store? How does your revenue come? What are the different methods through which you collect payment? Is there like a credit period, X, Y, Z? So we get an understanding so that when the results get presented, that human element of understanding would be there. Because what happens from the software, it'll just show you trends, right? Sometimes the trend may not read into an underlying reason. Let's say you acquired stock because you got a really good deal. The machine doesn't understand that. Right? So that's essentially that's why we get into an understanding of your business perspective. Yeah.
It's amazing how technology actually works with us and helps us in our everyday life.
It is
more and more.
It's
progressing, and it's actually assisting us in so many day-to-day tasks. But always the human factor is there, always. Thank you for sharing all these details about your company. It's very important. Now I would like to focus a little bit on our partnership with SPC Free Zone. I would like you please to tell me how is your experience working with SPC Free Zone as a partner?
So first and foremost thing is that SPC Free Zone has been really open. They've when concepts like us come, sometimes others are quick to judge and say that, oh, we don't need another accountant or we don't need another software, right? So I think SPC took time to understand that this is a marriage in terms of software plus accountants plus AI, and really understand the difference, the value
that you are providing in the market.
And also SPC, I mean, because we have customers, we understand is a preferred destination for the kind of customers that we serve, the smaller businesses. We do have a lot of customers already from SPC. So I think it was, and another thing is it was quick, right? The response from the team was quick in terms of getting us on board. It was not like a long waiting period saying that, okay, reach out to us after 50 days or whatever that is. So yeah, that's been my experience. It's been quick, yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. And for our license holders, how can a solution like Paci AI support their business goals or day-to-day operations?
So when you sign up to Paci AI, what we say is that we're very effective in terms of, because lots of times either they don't sign up because they feel they don't need it, or they don't want to onboard that cost, right? I would say we are very cost effective. They can see it in the partnership, this one. And the value is easily recovered just by not having the tension. Another thing is because of the quantum of fines. A single fine would wipe out anything that you would spend with Paci. I mean, any saving that you, I mean, any expense that you would save it, the fine is actually more than the anything that you would spend with Paci. And secondly, it is a guidance. We send you monthly insights which shows you trends and all of that. So it kind of helps you to see, are you going in a certain direction which is right? Because flying blind is the biggest risk. And as an entrepreneur starting off, you've got so many things to do. And it's just like, it is quite hard to start a company, just to give you a little bit, right? Because you think suddenly you've got to, I've changed logo 3 times in 3 years, right? You're looking at the logo and then somebody tells you the font isn't great. These are really small things, right? The color palette is outdated. Your branding doesn't play into this one. And so that's one set of problems. Then you start off, first set of problems are like, you don't have a customer. Suddenly you've got customers. Then you've got a problem of servicing them and servicing them well enough. And especially with the way technology is going, at least the boring, the difficult, and the time-consuming parts of finance and accounting can be automated. And essentially, it should be automated, right? Because imagine pouring through hundreds and hundreds of rows of Excel sheets to match certain things or to understand data. It's
very boring.
It's boring. It's not what we should be doing.
And time-consuming. Yeah. So my next question is, what are the improvements that the users should typically see in their business after adopting your platform?
Better idea of their finances, right?
Okay.
What's happening. No fines. And we've had instances where they've just got, we've seen certain things where, for example, cost savings, right? In terms of, there was a customer who was looking at all the different costs while he was not looking at the biggest cost that he needed to reduce, right? So that is one thing. And with the way our bots and all are answering, we are literally like something that's kind of available all the time. We don't work during weekends, but the bots are there, which lets us know if there's any emergency. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And do you address only companies in the UAE or all over the world?
At this point,
your focus is UAE.
We've launched in the UAE. The focus is UAE. We've wanted to service customers because what happens is you launch something, there's lots of features that don't get used. And you don't understand that through doing a survey. You get it into the hands of the customer, you will find out what they need or what they use. And there are lots of things that we found out that we're like, okay, what we thought is not what they need. So now, and it's not important just to service somebody for 1 month, 2 months. You've got to be with them for a year plus, and then you've got to see different kinds of businesses and again see the journey. So right now we've got a great understanding We do a lot more than the scope. Let's say you come with me in the lowest plan, as an example. There are certain things we don't do, but right now we're doing it for them so that we understand, okay, these are their pain points and how we can address them the best. Yeah. And sorry, so I think I diverted from your question. The aim is to go across the GCC region. So once this year we would be more stabilizing here and getting a lot more customers and all that. So next year there is a view to go across the rest of the GCC.
It's important that you are adapting to the needs of the companies and the regions. Maybe if you go to Europe, you expand to Europe, or in Asia, you will see different needs, different systems, and you will adapt, right? It's very important. So at this point, I would like to ask you, what's next for Paci AI? Since the business finance is rapidly changing with AI and automation, and they're becoming more and more common, what is next for you? What are your next steps?
So we are already building out, like I said, the next steps, right? So right now, if you wanted to invoice, if let's say you're running a business, you want, you've got somebody to invoice. How would you do it? You would just say, you would call that person and say, please invoice, right? That's what the sequence would be, and somebody would invoice, or you just send them a message. What we are working on right now is you send a message and the system sends an invoice. So we are working on, it doesn't really require a manual kind of, the system is automating from your instructions. Send the invoice, send reminder for payment. The system is automatically doing it just based on your voice notes and all. Some of this is getting built, not everything is deployed, because we've got to see if it really works as we want, right? So like right now, that's all what we are building out. There are what you can call as an army of agents that will kind of work out on, so you kind of just message saying, please send an invoice, and the invoice would go out. So that's what we're working on right now.
Amazing. Amazing. I think this matches the needs of the UAE right now.
Yes, so
everything is automated, everything is quick and growing so fast. So I think you respond to the needs, right, of the market.
Absolutely, right? You go to a parking a lot. If you go to DXB airport, you get the slip, you pay in the slip. Once you pay through your mobile in the slip, the gate opens, right?
Exactly.
It's seamless, it's great. Why should something like managing finance, at least for a small company? Larger companies, it's complex, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of intercompany work, consolidation. For a small company, that's simple operations.
Yeah.
That's what we aspire for. I sometimes tell people that we are like the WhatsApp of managing business finance. The reason I say that is because what does WhatsApp do? WhatsApp does a couple of things, but it does it really well. It doesn't claim to do a lot of things, right? It just does a couple of things really well. And that's what we want to be. We'll be like, okay, we do ABC and we do that really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. And based on your journey so far, what's one mindset that has helped you grow Paci AI the right way?
So this is quite difficult in terms of we've been slow. We've been slow in terms of we've been watching the customer.
Okay.
We've just not been about, let me grab as many customers as possible. We've been trying to watch what their needs are and then try to build towards it, right? We are not saying that, okay, next week this feature is coming, next week this feature is coming. We're really observing. Like, for example, we did a survey among the existing customers asking them, do you require a mobile app? And all of them said yes, but will they use a mobile app? They probably wouldn't, right? I'm gonna go. So if there's the founder of Ford called Henry Ford. So he has a saying which says that if I asked my customers at that point of time what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. because everybody was in horses, right? They would want faster horses. That's why sometimes it's about observing them to really understand
their needs.
So we observe them more than ask them. Because when you observe them, they will put out requests during the course of time, during the course of months and all of that. And that is the answer to what they really want. If I just ask you, what do you want, right? Right now, what do you want for food? You would just give an answer that comes out straight, but you would have a certain cuisine that you're most comfortable or something. So that's what we try to understand, yeah. So we're a finance manager, right? And we're not just a tool. The biggest challenge that we face is because the concept is new, being a software plus the accountant, right? It's actually both. At least the way that we are envisioning this to go is that once you have us, we're not reached there yet. It's a journey, right? Neither do you need an accountant, neither do you need a software. You have us. That's what we want to go for. Yeah.
It's amazing. I'm one person that doesn't know accounting and financials. If you tell me 2 times 2, I will reply with the wrong answer.
That's fine.
So I mean, it's amazing to see that you have found a solution for us.
I mean, we're on that journey, and
this was my observation from the beginning. I'm so incapable of these financials and
right?
everything.
Because, like I said, you don't need to, and it is unfair to an entrepreneur that he needs to go ahead. And so before this, I set up an engineering firm. That I have an engineering firm, but I am from a finance background. I spent hours and hours and hours learning, and I mean, I don't know, hours. I think years, and it's not necessary. Today, you could essentially, your job is to deliver value, and that value can be in terms of, if you're a coach, getting that value out to the customers. If you make clothes, is to make quality, beautiful clothes that your customers want. You don't need to do everything. And yeah.
I have another question, by the way. Does this apply, your whole platform applies to a certain taxation system or no? Like if you have to adapt?
Right now, we build for the UAE.
For the UAE, okay.
Each place where we go, we would change it. The reason I picked up the phone is just to show you, like an example of how some of the bots work. So this is like a bot telling us this has not been responded to in the last 30 minutes.
Okay, so you get notifications.
So it is saying that, you know what, somebody's raised a request. Nobody in the team has responded. So we are building out bots and various things to ensure your experience is better. So we are not. So accounting is same. There's no change in the difference. Accountants are great. Accounting softwares are great, right? There's lots of accounting. We integrate with all of these softwares. So it's not that Paci is an independent thing. We can integrate with all the popular ones: Zoho, Xero, QuickBooks, and everything. So we're not competing on the software bit. What we are competing is better user experience. Right? What we're going after is a better user experience. Like you said, oh my God, I'm frustrated with I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
What we understood is they need a better user experience with their finances. It shouldn't feel like something that you dread doing. Or like, oh my God, I don't want to, just going to take so much time with so that's what we're trying to improve. It's never going to be as interesting as, most of the other things, but we can make it simpler and less painful.
I'm really lost with these finances. If I wanted to open a business or anything, I want to be an entrepreneur, I would certainly need your system.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we are built for people who. There's a lot of courses that you see on the internet, right? Finance for non-finance people, accounting for non. Think of us as a platform for those people, right? We are like that, right? We're the platform. Yeah. We've simplified a lot of things, right? In terms of, if you open our dashboards, it's just basic stuff that anybody can understand.
So this can be applicable to any country, any taxation system in the world?
Yeah, it can be.
Okay. So you don't have any integration with a particular authority of the UAE, like the federal authority or
So the federal authority, so we are, what do you call? We are compliant in terms of
the regulations.
Yeah, in regulations. But as I mentioned, we're not fighting the software. So somebody is using Zoho, we just integrate. Somebody is using QuickBooks, we just integrate, right? Our value is in that last mile that I mentioned. Then there are a lot of people who are just running it in Excel sheets, PDF documents, written notes and all that. Even that works. You just drag and drop it into a WhatsApp. You can drag and drop it into a file, into a folder. It reads and makes it. So it is still, it is compliant. We make you compliant even with your PDFs and Excel sheets.
Okay. Yeah. And since it concerns the small businesses, is the price affordable
it
for
is super
this
affordable.
Entrepreneurs that they have started now, they haven't made money yet?
Absolutely.
So that's very
we've got
important.
an unbeatable price.
Mr. Fazal, it's been a pleasure having you here. Thank you for sharing all these valuable insights, not only for your company, but also for our free zone and the market of the UAE. It's refreshing to see a financial tool designed with entrepreneurs in mind and adapts in the needs of the market. To our viewers, if you're licensed with SPC Free Zone and looking for a smarter way to manage your business finances, visit Paci.ai or explore our official partner directory to get started. And don't forget to follow or subscribe to SPC Spotlight for more conversations with the people building the future of business in Sharjah and beyond. Thanks for tuning in. See you in the next one.